Hello everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Inbound Show. And I'm your host, Brian Rugyendo. Yes, before we go any further, I'm here with my colleague Hudson. Hudson, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It has been a great weekend, full of basketball action. Though we missed out some few games because of some issues with teams. Steelers games are postponed, Napsusa game was postponed. It was a great weekend. My highlight of the weekend was Falcons versus Victoria University. It was a relegation derby. And we saw Victoria University winning in overtime. We saw Falcons coming from 16 points down in the first quarter, and they had to catch up. They played some good basketball. Had 24 points in the game, which was something so good. We showed his maturity. Though they lost the game, but they need some people. Two of their players are not around. That is Bosa and Brian Rugyendo. So they missed out a lot. But I know they would step up in the second round.
Yes, I think that game left them 11 losses in as many games. I think they will be ending the season with non-blazers.
So what got your attention as well, Brian?
I think mine was FUBA's vice president bringing the police to eject a fan who had poured water on the floor. I think he was just excited after Pajob, the other rugby player, scoring a three-pointer. I don't think that was very necessary. I think they should have told him to just walk out, but not bring in police. That was very aggressive. Hudson, it was a long weekend, but it started on Friday with a thriller with Jekyll the Dolphins finishing it late against Scare Rangers. I understand you watched that game.
Watched the game, and I remember in the first episode of our show, you said the team towards Scare Rangers.
Yes.
And I was speculating about it, but from what I saw on Friday, it's going to be a hard team to beat. The kind of basketball they played against Jekyll and Dolphins was so different. Yes, Dolphins was missing out flash, but you saw what they were still put on paper. Though here Rangers came to play great basketball.
That was good work from Coach Rogers Serenigo. But again, on that same day, UC Buchanans managed to overcome Jekyll Dolphins, the men's game, to finish the first round on top with 11 wins from 12 games.
Yes, that was expected. Though Jekyll fought so hard, we saw Jekyll how they played the basketball. Yes, Namaka delivered. Those two Sudanese we played basketball, the young kids. You saw Jekyll is trying to build something, which most of the teams are not seeing. They're building a team which is going to be there for over 2-3 years, and it's going to be a competitive team. You saw they played their game in a calm way. They're passing the ball so well. Namaka showed leadership as well. But in the fourth quarter, 3 minutes to go, we saw what Sudi Ulanga did. Leadership. And Chuma, and Fadili Chuma.
Yes, his experience came at the fourth.
And what next? They won the game.
So then we move on to Saturday real quick. We had 2 games postponed as the Oilers reported that they had an accident when they were coming back from the burial of James O'Kelly's mother. They had 2 games postponed, and then there was a game from Arizona. They have 3 players on the Uganda team that went to World ISF games, World School games. Is it right for FUBA to postpone some of these games?
Now, Arizona wrote a letter to FUBA requesting them postpone the game because some of their players were not around, and these are key players, these are starters. So FUBA had to abide by the request because Namsusa communicated to the federation, which is so good. They can't communicate with the federation then, but an accident so you can play these games. So communication is key in everything.
Then could installers play their Sunday game against Scare?
They wouldn't play. They're still traumatized. You can't be from a barrier then you get an accident. They can't overturn it. And if it's you can't do anything.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Yes, on Saturday there was a tense game between Non-Blazers and Tropical Royals, a game that saw Coach Brian Rugyendo of Tropical Royals ejected. He received his first technical in the first half, then in the second, with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, he was taken out after he literally wanted the Tropical Royals players to go off the court. The incident was he thought that the referees, Makchi and Aneto Wanyengi, were not calling charges on Non-Blazers' big man, Kamel. And he ordered these players not to inbound Then Brian Rugyendo ordered his players not to gun quick rebounds in case there is a missed what? In case there is a missed free throw. Then after Camero missed his last free throw, in fact he missed both, but on the last there was no Tropical Warriors players to inbound,
Yes.
and Colin Kasugia was there, he picked a free rebound and he scored. Then when Tropical Warriors players went to inbound, Coach Brian Rugyendo ordered them to inbound direct to Blazers players. I remember it was Juma Usman, he just passed it direct to Colin Kasugia, who scored a simple layup without being contested. And what picture does that give to you?
I would say to any senior coach, any professional coach, he was supposed to do one thing. After the game, they've got a fullback technical committee. The team write a letter complaining with what the incident, how it all happened. Then they look through it. Because you have the technical committee, which is supposed to handle such instances. But you can't tell your players, please march off the court. When you have a match of Kamisa is there as well. There's a match Kamisa there. And all companies have to go to him, then he does something. He was supposed to say, okay, let me call off the game. But as the coach, you can't call off the game.
And to make matters worse, Brian Rugyendo is the head of the coaches at football.
Yeah. So which picture is he showing to other coaches as well? It was a bad picture, it was a bad image showcased by Brian Rugyendo. But I know sometimes things change as the umpires are calling bad things. As a coach, also chop a wire. We've seen how sometimes coaches, like how Nick sometimes is even injected during playoffs to be like, you know what happened? Things happen. But that's basketball. They lost, but they'll come back strong and win the game again.
Blazers went on to win that game, which was their second point of the season. And they'll be ending the first round against Falcons, the game which was earlier postponed. So, by now, they have played 11 games, won 7 and lost 4. This is one of the teams we are tipped to be a title contender. But before that season, I'll start by asking you, were you tipping them to be a title contender?
I wasn't.
Why?
It is an all-star team. Organizing that team together and delivering is something hard. Yes, the coach is there, but how is his tactics as well as a coach? You're getting it. I saw them losing to JK Dolphins one weekend, and I wasn't impressed. That big man who scores many points was completely off. Melo was off. They outplayed him good defense. From there, they went ahead and lost to UPDF as well.
Actually, before those two losses against UPDF and JK,
they lost to our savior.
Yeah, they lost to our savior, which was their second game after beating
City
Oilers.
But
that's not going.
What does it say? And on top of that, 3 players of them are coming back. That is Dikong, Chivili is now back, Okal is now back. Information is that even Bwanga is going to come back during the game.
And they are going to be signing
another Kenyan person. Yeah. Those are now 5 players who are going to come back. Chivili is back, but not yet fit. Okal is there, but the 2 games he has played, he has been off completely. Like he's not a real player we've seen play like in the Kenya national team how he plays. He's someone different. Let's see how Dikong comes back, but how is his rotation as a coach?
But I think his rotation is okay because besides Zitu Wadaya Blair, you know that point guard,
yes,
and Sarah Skivi, who has
yes,
played I think 10 minutes.
Yes.
All of their players on that roster have played more than 10 minutes. I think that is good rotation for starters.
But how are they delivering on as well? It's another question. You can have a player who can make 3 turnovers and he still stays on court. You're getting it. You're having a team. You're playing a team like UPDF. It's a physical game. What's your plan B as a coach? You want to go soft, you also have to go physical as well. You're playing a tactical team like KCCA. You've got Daniel Gat who can come with the ball in a good way. He's a good point guard. How are they going to play defense on him?
So for starters,
yes,
before you go into deep analysis of that Blazers team, how, if you are the coach, how do you explain to your boss that you are not a title contender with such a good squad?
To him, he knows he's a contender, but to me as a person, I know it's not a title contender. Because the games I've watched him lose really turned me off. And from the word guy, I told myself, Blazers has 1 or 2 seasons to be title contenders. You can't just come and be like, I'm a title contender. Yes, you have an all-star team. But how assembling your team, how assembling that team?
Is it a matter of time?
It's a matter of time.
Because
it's a matter of time. You can't rush this.
7-time champions, they won the they won their first NBL title.
with a full experienced coach.
So you're putting the blame on coach.
How blame
for that?
I'm not blaming him, but how is this even pedigree matters sometimes in this coaching field? You're getting it?
I agree with that.
Yeah. That experience of the coach matters a lot. This is what Obol did to him. So what Sam Obol did to J.K. Dolphins, what he did to him. I was like, seriously? It's not coming.
But if you can beat City Oilers, then who else?
But City Oilers is losing their first game of the season. That is something.
So we should not read much about it.
We can't read much about it. But anyway, the advantage he has got experienced players. They may step up in the second quarter and in playoffs and they play good basketball. I can't be the 100% of the championship, but are they going to deliver in the playoffs? Because basketball is something in the playoffs. I can't be like the competitor. I can't write them off. As a person, I can't be like the off because he has got more experienced players in that team. Or who can give you 100%. If they say let me give you 100%, give you 100%. And we expect something from Blazers in the second round and playoffs.
Now you have identified Escodat as the weak link of that team. If you are the manager, or if you are the owner or the CEO, like Hadifaro is, do you get another coach?
I don't get another coach. I give him time.
Because if you want a title,
I give him time.
What do you do for?
You can't just wake up and you can't just wake up and be like, you know what, I need time to play and then. Even other clubs give these coaches time. Give the person time, he builds he gets to know the players' weaknesses and strengths, and he will deliver. What
is Esco not doing right?
He's doing the right job as a coach, but the players are disappointing him. There are things you do, there are things you see. He has made a rotation, and the player has come on and is playing something so different.
Maybe it's about his strategy, because when you see this Blazers team playing, they are playing on the strength of Kamel. And what happens? They don't have a plan B.
But if Kamel is off, yes, Ekong is an experienced player. Colin is good at his defense. Yeah? You got MacGyver, full of experience. Nachiviri is back. Okal is there. You've got Ongom. Yes, they still struggle. Richard Ongom still struggling. Yeah. I blame the players, not even the coach. I blame the players. Because it makes sure that every player gets more than 10 minutes on that team.
Why I blame the coach?
You've got a point guard who is so mature. Actually, 2 or 3 guards who are so mature. You've got Daniel Naja. Naja can come with the ball so well. Juko. He's a good point guard. Yes, he has won for him. He's a champion before. The Congress champion before as well. Yes.
Maybe why I can blame is for the others I've seen him. He's a soft person, and I think when you're a coach, you've got to put some hairdryer treatment on some of these players. It's the only way. If you are tough, like you'll see the disciplinarian Coach Mande and Coach Nick of UC. Sometimes you need to be tough so that you can get the best out of these players. And I don't think that Escodata can be hard on some of these players like Ikong, who have been in the game longer than him.
So does it have some adjustments as a coach as well?
I think he has got to change his tactics as a coach, his approach to these players. He should start being hard, which I don't think that he can. And I'm being told...
But his assistant coach is Eric Malik, who's a champion, who knows the game very well.
And that's where the problem comes in. Esco is a busy man, and I cannot blame him for that. Sometimes he's not there during trainings, and it's Malinga who's handling the team. And Malinga, we all know he has given a lot of defensive tactics to this team, but they are not executing well because he's normally handling this team in most of these games. He's the one handling the team in training. So it's always strange to see that the person who's handling you in training, you are getting a different person during the match games.
So who do you blame? The coaches or the players?
I think it should go down to the management. Maybe they should try to set real goals for the team. They have to see that Escodata is always there 100%. And I'm told after that 4th loss, was it against UPDF?
It was against UPDF.
The players received half of their salary. Haji Farouk was very annoyed with some of their performances, and he told them that I'm going to give you half, and it's what they see.
Is it within their contracts?
No, it's not written anywhere.
And how come he chopped off their money? That means he was trying to tell them, please, this is business.
Yes.
If you're around, I can do something as a manager. Because I'm starting in my money for you to deliver. Because you can't be losing to teams like our Savior, teams like UPDF. At least you lose to a team like what you see you use a team like Store Oil, it's okay. But not JKL or Xavier, UPDF.
And as it stands, they're going to end the first round behind power.
Behind power, as it stands.
Yes. For starters, the addition of Dikong, where does that leave? The addition of Dikong, Okar, and other players they may be adding. How would your ideal starting five be for them?
I'm seeing them rebounding a lot. My ideal starting five would be Ekong, MacGyver, Dikong, Camelo, and Okar. That's the first five for Blazers.
Wait, Dikong playing as a one?
Ekong playing as a one.
Why do you play?
He has never played the one in the power.
Yes.
Ekong can come with them. Even national team at times he used to play as one.
But why do you play Ekong not his natural position when you have natural guys like Collins Kasubia, Cyrus Chivili, and Juko Najadani, not to mention Richard Daniel?
They can still come in. That's the rotation. To me, that's my first five as me. A coach can make his own rotation. It can be the coach, Juko Kapia as one, and Naja B2. To me, that's my first five.
Why can't Ekong exchange minutes with Dikong in three?
I want them both on court.
Yes. But Ekong is not good defensively.
He's good at defense as well. Because in Uganda, among the top three players, the best three people we have in Uganda, Ekong is ranked as in the top three. We have leave Steve Omonyi, then bring in Ekong.
Actually, I rate him with the ball, but not with the ball. I respect him as one of the most intelligent players. Sorry to Jimmy now, but I think Ekong is way up there, but not defensive. I think Collins Kasubi and Juko Nadia can do a better job than him without the ball. So I think he should be exchanging minutes with Ekong. But as we proceed, how important is the addition of Okar, and how have you seen him in these 2-3 games?
He hasn't done anything big in these 2 games.
Do we need to give him?
We need to give him time because he needs that team chemistry, which he hasn't yet gotten. He's getting the script of the team chemistry. When he gets it like this, you're going to something different. Because I trust him. He'll pick up the rebounds for you, he'll score for you as well, and he'll play the defense you need for you.
Initially, you didn't rate Blazers as a title contender. Where do you see them finish? Come into the second round.
They'll go hard in the second round, but they'll be in the playoffs, and they'll be even to me. I expect them to be even semi-finals of the playoffs. But from there, that's where the issue is. Now meeting a technical team like UCU, Coastal Oilers in semi-finals will be the issue now.
Hudson, we should conclude this with the lower division. There was a big game. YMCA lost to Kampala Rockets. They lost 9-59. I don't think I should call it even a big
But that wasn't a big game. Because YMCA had 5 players who played and one of them got injured. They remained 4 players who finished the game. They lost by over 40 points.
What's happening at YMCA? You remember they have just been reinstated into the league.
Yes, they've got a lot of issues, management issues. They don't have enough players, the truth. Management say the truth, they don't have enough players. That pulled out of the league. Reason being, the administration says, management says, they don't have enough players. They're not ready for the season. They don't have enough players. But some players just said they don't have less play. Yes. The highlight of those weekend in the lower division was that game, Night Riders versus
All-timers?
All-timers.
Yeah. All-timers were a 1-point win. They got a 1-point win over Entebbe Night Riders.
Which was so hurting Night Riders. But All-timers, I think that was a win for their fallen soldier who passed on over the weekend.
Yes, they had a moment of silence before they started the game.
Yes, which was
a
sign of respect. And they won it for him. To me, I would say it's a good one for them. Though Riders lost it in a weird way. They lost that game. Then also Bushcock, I know, won their game as well. Their first win of the season.
Yes, they had lost, I think, 4 or 5.
There are 4. Yes.
Then also Miracle Eagles lost to Kumba Marines.
Yes.
I don't know why they lost to Kumba
By
Marines.
half a basket as well.
Yeah.
By half a basket as well.
Yeah, world score. Let 3 points
Yes.
to win it for them.
Then also Emperors lost to Buhaga as well on Saturday. In the D League. Yes.
FUBA's transfer window is now open, the first of its kind. Remember the second round of the National Basketball League will be starting on June 3rd. So that's all we've had today. A big thank you to Calvin of Montage Media for producing this episode. Remember to go to the Sports Nation YouTube channel and subscribe. See you next week.